Hey all, it's Kate. Today I'm going to do my March wrap up. This month I read 4 books. It's not a lot of books, but I mean, it's better than reading nothing, and I really enjoyed all the books that I read, so yeah. First book that I read is The Sky is Everywhere by Jandy Nelson. This is my first book that I read by Jandy Nelson. I know that I'll Give You the Sun is her most popular book, which I do have and I do want to read, but I wanted to read this one first because it's her first book and I wanted to kind of read them chronologically in the order that she released them. And I'm glad I did because this book was so good. I gave it 5 stars. This book is about a girl named Lenny who has recently lost her sister Bailey. I mean, she passed away. She's not disappeared or anything. She passed away. And she's trying to deal with that grief and a little bit of guilt because she's kind of having like a thing with her her sister's boyfriend before she died, and she's having trouble deciding whether she feels more strongly for him or for this other guy who comes to town, and he kind of shows her how to be happy again. Something that I really like about this book is that every chapter I think starts with every chapter starts with a note written by Lenny, and she writes poems or like notes to herself, and they kind of chronicle her grief in a way, or just give you a glimpse into what her life with her sister was like. I really just love this book. I thought it did a really good job of dealing with grief, and it was very realistic. I felt that it did a really good job at what it was supposed to do, and I really, really loved it. The next book that I read this month is The Summer I Turned Pretty by Jenny Han. I didn't like this one as much as I liked the other one, but I gave it 3.5 stars, and I thought it was a good book, just not a great book. This book is about Belly, and Belly goes to a beach house every summer, and she's been to this beach house every summer since she was a kid, and it's the beach house of her mother's friend Susanna, and Susanna has 2 sons, Jeremiah and Conrad. And in this book, Belly's kind of like boy crazy, that's how I would describe it, and she has always loved Conrad, but this new guy, Camden, that's not his name. Well, they call him Cam. I forget what his full name is. I think it might be Cameron, but I'm not sure. So yeah, she has also a little bit of feelings for this guy named Cameron, and even some for Jeremiah, and secrets unfold and stuff, and I just didn't really like it because I thought that Belly was kind of immature because, I mean, who has feelings for like 3 guys at the same time? That's a little ridiculous. I mean, I don't know, it was just too boy crazy for me, so I liked it, but I didn't love it by any means. I'm not sure if I'll read the other 2 books in the trilogy. It's kind of just like if I feel like it one day, sure, but I don't have any plans to. I feel like it ended okay the way that it is, and I'm like satisfied enough with it, and I don't really want any more drama, so I think I'll just leave it. The next book that I read this month is My Life Next Door by Huntley Fitzpatrick. This book is about a girl named Samantha who has lived next door to the Garretts for her entire life, and her mom does not like the Garretts because her mom is a state senator or something like that. She's got a political role, and she finds, because the Garretts have a lot of children, they're one of those really big families, and her mom finds them to be irresponsible, I guess. She judges them for the way that they are. And so this book is about Samantha falling in love with Jace, who is one of the Garretts, and it's not like, it is fluffy for like the majority of the book, but there is a little bit of serious in the book, which I really, really loved. I can't remember, I either gave this 4 stars or 4.5 stars, and I think all that I took off for was it kind of was slow a lot of the times, and it felt like it was just a lot of repeating scenes or something like that, but I don't know. That was my opinion. But it was a really good book, and I really enjoyed it. The last book that I read this month is P.S. I Still Love You by Jenny Han. This is, of course, is the sequel to All the Boys I've Loved Before, and I might like it more than the first one. Like, I think I do, because I feel that it did a good job of making it clear that nothing is certain, and I feel like a lot of YA books, they kind of center around the fact that once you're with someone, you're with that person, and I mean, you're gonna go off into the sunset on a horse, and that's it. Like, that's the person. But this book kind of made it realistic in the fact that that's not how it is, and sometimes things get in the way, but I don't know. I really enjoyed this book, and I won't say what it's about because it is a sequel, and pretty much everyone already knows what the first book is about, so yeah. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars, and it's probably one of my favorite books of the year. I really, really loved it. Which is also, I think The Sky is Everywhere might be one of my favorite books of the year too, because I really, really love that one too. So those are the 4 books that I read in March, and I'll be back soon with my April TBR. Bye!